You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is 10:02 in the morning here on the show. It's Thursday morning. It's not Wednesday. I decided to postpone last night's show and just move it to today in the morning. Do a special morning show. At the moment, it's just me. For the most part, I'm a solo guy, but it's just gonna be me, just talking about In Your House, Hell in a Cell. Talk a little bit about Raw, get to questions. Like I mentioned earlier, so people in the chat have today off. We're seeing the Jurassic Park movie later at 7. And what's going on, Jack Frost? The missus, she reminded me, did you ask for Thursday off? I went, for what? And she just gives me this look like, for the movies? I was like, well, what time is it? 7? I'm like, oh, shit. So I just told my boss, or one of my supervisors, I'm just like, I know this is last minute, but I have a dental appointment on Thursday, so can I have Thursday off? I'm like, yeah, sure. So, as far as anyone knows, I'm at the dentist. But, I'm going to see that Jurassic Park movie later, which I'm not hearing so good things about. Hearing a lot of people, trash it. Which, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's up to me to decide if it's good or not. Still gonna watch it. It's Jurassic Park. How wrong can you go with Jurassic Park? But the last one, what is it? Not Lost World. Lost World was like years ago. But what was the last one? There's a Fallen Kingdom. That's the one. That one wasn't all that great. It's one of those things where I'm trying to remember what the point of the movie was. I know, they brought the dinosaurs to mainland, in Jurassic Park 2. The original Jurassic Park 2. Where the dinosaurs came to the mainland, but they ended up sending them back. Instead of in this one, the dinosaurs are now taking over the mainland. What's going on, C. Fortino? I hope I'm saying that right. I enjoyed it. It just, I have to maybe rewatch it because I'm forgetting the plot of the movie or some bit parts of the movie. But yeah, they're saying, Maurice, they're saying this one was not all that great. The one that's coming out, well, technically it's coming out tomorrow, but it always comes out on Thursday. I don't know why they say, in theaters on Friday, yada yada yada. It's but they technically come out on Thursday. Yes, but it's worldwide release on Fridays, but it's worldwide release on Thursdays. Fuck you. Yeah, we're gonna go see it. We're still gonna go see it, because fuck, I took the missus and her sister to see fucking Morbius. When I knew in my heart of hearts that movie was gonna be ass. So, Jurassic Park 3 has to be, at least has to be better than Morbius, right? It has to be. Those are advanced screenings on Thursday night. Oh, Morbius is pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Originally I gave that movie a C. A C minus. But then the more and more I kept thinking about it, the less the grade would drop. I said, okay, I'm going to have to give it a D minus. And then I just kept thinking about it more. I'm like, this movie was bad. I don't think I can find any good thing to say about this movie. So I gave it an F. I think that's one of the first movies I give it an F in a while. That and also Men. Ugh. I blame Shaheen and John Draper for that. They just they sang that movie's praises so much on Breaking the Apocalypse. I'm like, all right, let me watch it. luckily I didn't have to pay for it. I watched it on TTV. And that movie fucking sucks. Like, luckily it's an hour and a half, it's 90 minutes. But it's like, I'm gonna sound like a fucking asshole here. I didn't understand the plot of the movie. Like, I knew, I guess the concept was like, it's supposed to be about toxic masculinity. But there was really no explanation as to what is she seeing, how is she seeing this, is this lady trapped in like some type of vortex, is this house like haunted, how is it that every guy in the area literally looks like the same guy? It never explains shit. And then you get to the ending and it's the last 15 minutes are the only time when something happens in the movie. And in my head, if I'm watching a movie in my head, I'm saying, all right, when is something going to happen? That's why I know the movie's going to be bad. Like, the movie was just, to me, it was not very good. It was not bad. Oh, no, it was bad. It was not good. It was not scary. I mean, there was just some disturbing shit in there, but it's just like, I don't know. A lot of these, like, A24, people like. I mean, I'll talk about an A24 movie I did like in a bit, but Men, I didn't care for Men. I'm not going to discourage people from watching it, but I'm just giving my opinion. I didn't like it. I put it up there on my least favorite films of the year. Another movie I saw over the weekend that I mainly saw because I needed to get out of the house. I didn't just want to be stuck home all day. I went to go see Crimes of the Future. It's a Cronenberg film. And another film that Shaheen and John Draper have been, singing its praises. And I, again, want to go see it because I had nothing to do. I need to get out of the house. It was the weekend. Didn't just want to stay home bored. I went to the 11:30 a.m. screening. I was the only fucking person in the theater. Nobody else was there. I was sitting like at the top, close to the top, and I just had my soda and my hot dog. And this is a film that apparently at like Cannes Film Festival or Sundance Film Festival or one of those film festivals, everybody walked out because it was just disgusting and people hated it that much. Like, it didn't disgust me. I didn't have that same effect, and like I said, I just had a hot dog before I watched it. Like, there was some stuff in it that I just kind of went, I know there was one scene where I kind of look away. I'm like, okay, that's a little bit too much. That's a little gross, but nothing to make me walk out. Maybe to walk out because I was bored, and luckily nobody was in the theater because I was able to pull up my phone and just tweet my displeasure. But I mean, it was a little bit better than Men, and like Men, it was a little over 90 minutes. But I don't know. Other people said they liked it. I didn't care for it much. Again, it was one of those things that I just didn't understand the plot. I didn't understand what I was watching. I was trying to pay attention to maybe get a good gauge of the film, but it's just the acting was not the problem. It just, the movie itself wasn't for me. Hold on, I'm still on the thingy right here. I didn't get to the chat room yet. One moment, come on. The only movie theater I went to, and it was sparsely around Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian. The only movie I walked out was Dirty Grandpa, and I hated it. I don't know, like, I think there was a question on here a while ago where someone had asked me, and because I had Littman and RJ, where it's like, was there ever a movie you walked out during? And I've never walked out during a movie, even if it was bad, because it's just like, I paid for it, so I gotta watch it. I mean, there's movies I've fallen asleep during because I was just bored. To me, it's just like, if I know a movie's gonna suck, I'm not gonna go watch it. It's just like, and I know Morbius was bad, but it's just like, it's a Marvel adjacent, so I guess I have a priority to watch these films. But it's just like, if I see a movie that I don't really have a connection to, and it looks like shit, it's just like, I'm not gonna watch it. And then I find out it's shit, I'm like, see, there you go. But yeah, it's just, and also if I'm watching a movie at home and it's just like boring me, I'll either just look at my phone or just change it to something else because, you know, I have the power to do that. Or I can just pause it, get up, get something to eat, take a piss, take a shit. But, yeah, Crimes of the Future was not very good, in my opinion. So, again, not discouraging you. A movie I watched from A24 that I actually did like a lot was Everything Everywhere All at Once. Again, watched it on... apparently it's available on streaming now. Like, if you Google it, it'll say it's still in theaters, which it actually is. But I watched it on TTV, and it was perfect quality. Like, it just came out, and it had and you can put the subtitles on it, so... good movie. To me, it's my pick for movie of the year. It deals with the multiverse, but it does it a lot better than Doctor Strange. Like, it makes it more relatable. Whereas, you know, in Doctor Strange, you know, it's like, you know, we're going to different Earths, and we're looking at, you know, different, you know, possibilities, different characters that exist in different universes. Where, as far as this movie goes, it's more about like, this is you from a universe where you made a different decision. Like this, like, you know, if you hadn't, you know, gotten with this guy and you decided to go on your own path and become an actor. Like, this is your universe where you're a famous actor. This is your universe where you know how to do kung fu, where you know how to cook, where you're a famous chef or whatever. Like, this is a different universe, and it makes it relatable. And a lot of the movie is very family oriented. And I mean by that is, like, it's a movie about family. It's a movie about romance. You know, the main character, Michelle Yeoh, I love. I think she's great. You know, she is the star of this movie, and she does a great job. Like, she makes every scene interesting. She makes every scene important. And she doesn't try to be the likable character, which that's always good. You know, you need your heroes, quote unquote, your protagonists, to not be likable. I mean, it helps that they're likable, but you want them to be relatable, because not everybody can be a good person. You know, some of us good people are actually kind of shitty people. I mean, I have people tell me I'm a good guy. I don't really think I'm a good guy. I think I'm decent. I don't know what you guys think about me. But, I mean, I try. But I can be a shitty person, too, when I want to be. I'm a shitty person. And, you know, like this movie, I have thoughts. You know, I've always thought, you know, what would have happened if I had done this? What would have happened if I had straightened up and actually paid attention in school, and didn't just like barely pass with a C? What if I had hung out with this group? Or what if I went to Holmes High School like my brother told me to, instead of going to Warren? Like, you know what I mean? That's what makes the movie like really relatable, and it pays off because it's a really good movie. CM Hyuk and Goob, what's going on, man? So go to your way to see Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's still in theaters. You can catch it on streaming. You could probably catch it on Amazon Prime, but like if you have TTV or all those other illegal apps, not so legal apps, you know, watch it. It's like 2 hours and 17 minutes, but it's worth it. It's really good. And then the most recent movie I watched after that was The Northman, which it's on Peacock now. It was in theaters and it was on streaming where you had to pay for it. Now it's on Peacock for free. So if you have Peacock, you can watch it for free. It wasn't as good. Like, the movie started off hot. It had a good beginning, but then it just dragged. Like, it just dragged to the point where I'm like, something needs to happen. And then it started to pick up for a little bit, and then it went back to dragging. You know, like, the action scenes were fine. You know, the brutality was fine. The actors weren't really the problem. I mean, Anya Taylor-Joy, I thought, was the only important like character in the whole movie. Anything she was in, I was interested in. The main dude, Peter, not Peter. Is it Peter? Alexander Skarsgård. I thought he was okay. I thought he was fine for what he tried to do. But I think you could have literally taken anyone and put him in that role, and it wouldn't really change anything. The main character was not that interesting. And the movie's called The Northman. And I mean, it wasn't... I guess they put in the same category as a horror movie. I don't know why, but it wasn't scary. I mean, the only creepy part was Willem Dafoe. And that's about it. The ending was flat. Like, a lot of these indie directors, like, I hate when they do this. I seriously fucking hate when they do this. I mean, people want to complain about there's too many superhero films, yes, but it's just like, those are the films I like to fucking watch. And horror movies and anything else that's interesting. But these indie films that have these endings where it's just, I feel like it's the director almost like nudging me and going, huh? Huh? You see what I did there? Huh? Did you get it? No, I don't fucking get it. I don't understand what the ending is. You need to explain to me. It's up to the viewer. What does that even fucking mean? I don't know. That's how I felt about The Northman. The Northman had a very flat ending. The ending fight was flat, and you can barely see it. And yeah, it's just the ending. The ending, I'm just like, I guess. So, all those movies I name, Everything Everywhere All at Once is the best one. It's probably the best movie of the year. So, if you have time, go and see it. But I'm gonna go ahead and start these reviews, just so I can get these out of the way. And then, of course, we get to questions last. Come on, phone. Alright, so it was a busy weekend for wrestling. So In Your House was Saturday. I didn't see it live. I had to see it the very next day, like early in the morning. So I was able to catch that. So In Your House, at the Performance Center in Orlando. There were 7... Actually, there were 2 pre-show matches, and there were 6 matches? The 2 pre-show matches, one of them was Valentina Feroz defeating Ariana Grace. That's Santino's daughter. I didn't see that. Ike Manjiro defeated Dante Chen. Didn't see that, so I have no opinion. I don't know if you guys saw it, so tell me if I missed anything special. So now we get to the first match of the night. You had a 6-man tag match. You had the family, Tony D'Angelo, Channing, Stax Lorenzo, and Troy Two Dimes Donovan against Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde with Elektra Lopez. The loser had to join the winning team stable. This match is 12 minutes and 45 seconds. I enjoyed this match a lot more than I thought I would, and I know it's going to sound shitty. What's up, Lightning? I know it's going to sound, weird, especially with the crop of talent in there, which I'm not crazy about Tony D'Angelo. I don't know how you guys feel about him. I really don't care for him. Like, I think he kind of sucks personally. I mean, Lightning, if you want to post a question already, I'm not gonna like say no, and just if you guys want to post questions already, fuck it, free for all. But this match was fun. The crowd really liked it. Like they were into it. They're chanting "This is awesome," which again, that's a very overused thing with a lot of wrestling fans nowadays. But this match was fun. I enjoyed it. You knew the heel, which again, who are the heels and who are the faces? I know Tony D'Angelo's a heel. Last I checked, Legado were heels? ? So I don't know, but wasn't people defending. Oh yeah, D'Angelo's not very good, and it doesn't help that he has a shit gimmick, but. I knew Tony D'Angelo was going to win because they like him for whatever reason. So now Santos and his family are with him, which is just like, it's weird because Santos is so fucking over. Like, he is so good. And yet, they just constantly job him out. I don't know why. Like, I forgot who I was talking with on Twitter about it, but they were saying, Santos is over. He's a star. I'm like, yeah, you would never guessed it by how much they fucking job him out. I don't know if he should have gonorrhea, Goof, but yeah, Santos at the moment is a face. He's officially a face. But I mean, the dude should be on the main roster. Like, he's done with NXT. Put him on the main roster. They need more guys. And if only he was 6'2". Like, that's what I always say, because it's just like, I don't know how tall Santos is, but I mean, he's bigger than most small guys, and he actually looks like something. But I always say, like, if he had Andrade's height, or if he had Del Rio's like height and his size and his build, and then you put Santos's personality and his charisma and his like ability to talk inside that body, like, he'd be one of their hottest stars. Like, he'd be one of the best guys in the company. So, I don't know. I look at people like that. It's one of those things where just like, being smaller is the norm. He's built at 6'1". No, he's not 6'1". I don't think he's 6'1". They tried to say Adam Cole was was like 6'1" or something. It's just like, no, he's not. No, he's not. I think Joe Numbers is taller than him. And I think me and Joe are the same height. If I had to guess, I'm 5'9" I think Joe might be the same height as me, if I had to guess. Which, me and Joe had a nice little conversation earlier on Facebook. On a Facebook Messenger, actually. It's about the Celtics. So, but the family won. Good match. Again, crowd was into it. Fans loved it. Can't deny that. Next was Toxic Attraction, Gigi Dolan, Jacy Jayne defending the tag titles against Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Match was 9 minutes and 1 second. Gigi Dolan, let me just take a second to say, goddamn. So much cake. The bakery was open in Orlando today. In Orlando that night. Like, Jesus Christ. She knows what she's doing. Those Toxic Attraction girls, they know exactly what they're doing when they do that. Like, come on. But this match, I mean, yeah, and I think Jacy Jayne looked pretty good too. But come on, Gigi. I thought the match was fine. You knew it was going to happen. Oh yeah, yeah, I remember Goof. It's like, Ray Finkel should get gonorrhea and rot in hell. Would you like a cookie, son? I remember. It's 10:25 in the morning, Goof. Cut me some slack. Come on. But yeah, this match was fine for what it was. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. I know RJ picked Carter and Chance to win because they've been a tag team, and they're probably, as far as like the female tag team division, like the only tag team that looks like a tag team. I mean, they're actually legit friends, and they have like a story going on. But I'm just like, I don't think they're gonna give it to them. And to be real, who exactly are Toxic Attraction gonna drop their titles to? I mean, it was already a mistake making NXT Women's Championships or Tag Team Championships. I'm sorry. Like, they should have just had the regular women's titles just be all around. You can defend them on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. That would have made a lot more sense. A lot more. But, then again, what do I know? I mean, honestly, they should just get rid of the regular women's titles, too. Regular women's tag team titles. Just have one women's champion on the main roster and on NXT. So, but this match, it was what it was. Again, Gigi with the cake. That's all I gotta say. That was the highlight, is just seeing Gigi doing GG things. Yeah. What's going on, Loggers 109? Welcome to the chat. But what was the next match? Next match is Carmelo Hayes against Cameron Grimes for the North American Championship. Match is 15 minutes and 30 seconds. Good match. With good talented wrestlers in the match. I know there's kind of been like some talk about Hayes, where it seems like Hayes has kind of lost his luster, and that becomes a thing of like maybe Hayes should be on the main roster, which I think he should. He's born and bred for the main roster. Who posted that? Who posted the picture of Gigi and her cake? Goof, thank you so much, Goof. Thank you so much, Goof. Now I'm going to be distracted for a bit. Yeah, Hayes I think is just meant for the main roster already. Like there's very few guys on NXT that are meant for the main roster, and there's very few guys that are just like, yeah, leave him down there for as long as you can. Hayes is just one of them. Another guy like Escobar, where it's just like, imagine if this guy was 6'2", like 6'2", 6'3", 200 pounds, and it's just like you have a star right there. Trick I don't really care for. Alright, here's what Lightning is asking. The problem with that, how the hell is Vince and Bruce going to book them there? That's the other question. I don't know how to answer that, because lately the booking has not been all that great. And, hey, what's going on, Kyle? There's the argument of like, oh, well, it's NXT. Not a lot of people watch NXT, so we got to give them a new name or blah blah blah. It's like, I don't really think you need to change names. Like I'm gonna be one of those people. Why are you changing names? For certain people, let me say that for certain people, like Pete Dunne, for example. Pete Dunne is Butch. He's probably more over than he's ever been. I was never a Pete Dunne fan to begin with. Him as Butch works, because it at least gives him a character that is believable for him. Because if they had just like let Pete Dunne be Pete Dunne, like all willy-nilly on the main roster, it wouldn't have fucking worked. Because again, I didn't care for Pete Dunne in NXT, because again, he was just another short guy. He was basically Dean Malenko. Dean Malenko, great wrestler, boring as shit to listen to and to watch. Another guy, Walter, which I'm going to be one of those people. I don't think they should have changed Walter. They shouldn't have changed Walter to Gunther, but that's just me. Whatever. I mean, he's getting over. They seem to like him up there. I mean, he's going to get an Intercontinental title shot this Friday. Or tomorrow, I mean. And he's more than likely going to fucking win. They're giving him his own thing to do. He's featured on the show like every day. Actually, I heard Brian Last call Pete Dunne Becky Lynch. He said Pete Dunne looks like Becky Lynch with pubic hair on his face. That was too fucking funny. But yeah, Gunther's getting over. I mean, LA Knight as Max Dupree. I don't know. I mean, I thought LA Knight was fine. I think it's weird that he went from being Eli Drake, and then they changed him to LA Knight, and then he gets to the main roster and they call him Max Dupree. It's like, why are you changing his name twice? I mean, LA Knight was a fine name. I mean, because he looked like something that Vince likes. He likes guys who have a good build. I mean, he's a good-looking dude. He can talk. He's not terrible in the ring. So, and, I mean, he has a gimmick. He has a catchphrase. That's, something that the crowd can get into. L.A. Knight. But then again, what do I know? Maybe we'll be talking about Max Dupree in 2 months. Yeah, Kaylee Ray, what is it, Alba Fire? Meh. I mean, I wasn't really a Kaylee Ray fan to begin with. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Elbow Fire. Thank you, Goof. Carmelo Hayes, I don't know what they'll do with him on the main roster. I mean, I don't know if they'll just call him Hayes or Carmelo. Or, I mean, that sounds like... I just thought of this right now. That sounds way too similar to Carmella. It's like, well, we can't call you Carmelo because it sounds like Carmella. It's like, but Carmella's a woman. But people will still get it confused, so we have to call you Caramel... Caramel Hackett Job or whatever the fuck. Now go out there, goddammit. That's something I'm sorry. But let's go back to the match. So, you know, Grimes, another guy, should have been on the main roster already. Like, he'll be Carm the Candyman. Jesus Christ. Like, Grimes is a guy who's been in NXT even before NXT even started the... Actually, matter of fact, when NXT started going live on Wednesday nights on USA, he was on there. I clearly remember him, like, being in that era. You know, that was when he was coming out with his, you know, with his Rob Zombie top hat. And, you know, he was just on a winning streak against jobbers, and then he lost to, I think, Matt Riddle or something. So he's been on TV for 3 years in NXT. So it's just like, why is this guy not on the main roster? Again, he's a character. Vince loves characters. And he also loves making fun of the South. So why not have him on TV? You know, do something similar to what you're doing with Butch. You know, have him come out and be a redneck. Have him come out and be like Hillbilly Jim. You know what I mean? Yeah, and he's a good worker too. and also, again, we've been saying this for a while. Raw and SmackDown need more guys. They need more workers. They need more job guys to make the other, you know, guys look special. So why is Cameron Grimes on TV? I don't get it. And he shouldn't have won the North American title to begin with, in my opinion, because, like, they should have just kept it on Hayes and have Hayes, you know, hold on to that title for as long as he can, and then he ends up going to the main roster. It's like with Braun, which we'll get to Braun in a bit. It's like with Braun when he lost it to Dolph, and then he ends up losing his match at TakeOver, and then wins it the very next day on Raw, and then Dolph is nowhere to be seen for like the next month and a half. It's just, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, why have him lose and then have him win it again? Like, just keep that fucking title on him. But this match was fine. You know, Hayes wins. He wins back the North American title. He's, I think, like the second person to win a North American title more than once. There's Gargano, and then there's someone else. I think it's just him and Gargano. They're the only two that have a North American title reign for more than once. Next is Mandy Rose defending the NXT Women's Championship against Wendy Chu. Mandy Rose won. I didn't watch this match. I skipped it. I'm kind of done with Wendy Chu. And by kinda, I mean I am. Like, the gimmick was cute for a bit, but now it's just like, this is annoying. It's getting on my nerves. I don't care for it. I don't think it's funny or clever. Can we just get rid of the narcoleptic wrestler already? Wendy is not Bayley. Lightning. Like, she is not anywhere close to Bayley. Like, Bayley was enjoyable in NXT. Bayley doing the hug thing, like, she was over, and she knew how to be serious. Like, this is a straight up gimmick with Wendy Chu. But, peace out to Wendy Chu. I'm kind of done with her. Mandy Rose just looks fucking fine. I only watched her entrance. She looks like Carmen Electra. When she was walking to the ring, you know, she dyed her hair like, you know, light brown. And I'm like, she looks like Carmen Electra. And I think Carmen Electra is still fucking gorgeous. Just like Mandy Rose, she's fucking gorgeous. But skip the match. Didn't care for it. What's the next match? You have the Creed Brothers versus Pretty Deadly for the NXT Tag Team Championships. There was a stipulation, apparently. Had the Creed Brothers lost, they would have had to leave Dynamite. It's like, oh no, I'm going to leave this faction with Roderick Strong. Like, please, I want to stay with Roderick Strong. This match was really good. This was a really freaking good match. And the crowd was white hot for it. Like, I personally don't care for Pretty Deadly. I don't understand the appeal or the gimmick. Like, are they gay? Are they not gay? Like, what is the gimmick? Are they supposed to be like a takeoff of Spinal Tap? Yeah, it's just like Malcolm Bivens was, one of the more was what made the gimmick interesting. But then he left, and it's just like now we have Roderick Strong to be the mouthpiece. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? It's just like, all right, so we couldn't sound Malcolm back. Malcolm's leaving. So we got a new manager for you. Okay, who is it? Roderick Strong. Ugh. Good wrestler, but has the personality of a dead dog. Jesus Christ. Another guy who's going to be leaving in a bit to go be with the undisputed elite pieces of shit era. Yeah, Ivy Niles is bleh. But this match was really good. The Creed brothers they lit up in this match. Something lit a fire under them, and they lit the fuck up in this match. There was a lot of good back and forth action. Wasn't your standard, indie AEW shit of like, let's do our finishers, 5 times and let's not kick out. It's like, no, they really went for it in this match. Like, the finishers were the finishers. Especially that shooting star press from one of the, was it Brutus or Julius that did the shooting star press? Yeah, Lightning, you missed a really good match. Like, go back and watch it, dude. Like, you missed a really good match. It was my choice for match of the night. I like the Creed brothers. They look like a legit tag team. I like teams like was it like the greatest tag team in the world with Shelton and Charlie Haas? I liked American Alpha. I like what they were doing with Alpha Academy, and now they're kind of making them goofs. Which I think Chad Gable's funny. I think he's really fucking good. I like teams like that look like that typical, high school, college wrestling team, where they look like ass kickers. So I liked it. I thought this was really good. They should have won it before, but I guess they needed to give it to a heel. But I guess the Creed brothers are heels now. Which I'm fine with. Pretty Deadly, again, I don't get it. I don't understand the gimmick. I mean, they're not even funny. Otis is a 2010 wrestling championship at Superior High School in Wisconsin. Oh, yeah. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. So you have a celebrity. You have a WWE star from your high school, bro. Yeah, Lightning, go ahead and watch that match. Like, it's really good. Now we got to the main event. You had Braun Breaker versus Joe Gacy for the NXT Championships. I just read what Goof said. Singles match for the NXT Championship. Had Braun gone disqualified, he would have lost the championship. This match was It was okay. I thought it was alright. I mean, it was probably better than the last match that they had, but it's not really saying much because I'm not a Joe Gacy fan. I know a lot of people are, but it's just I don't see it. I don't see what other people are seeing. Like, I just see another short guy, another short, pudgy guy that is trying to look like Kevin Owens, but he's not as interesting or talented as Kevin Owens. And they're trying to say he's Bray Wyatt. He's not Bray Wyatt either. I'm sorry. Not a fan of the gimmick. Not a fan of the guy. It's not my cup of tea. I'm just gonna put it that way. Breaker, Steiner, whatever you want to call him. At this point, Goof, I was saying he looks like Kevin Owens, but he's not as talented or as interesting or as good as Kevin Owens. That's what I was saying. But Breaker, it's what else can you do for him in NXT? It's just the guy needs to be on the main roster already. You know, I know they tried to experiment with him on the main roster. I thought it was working, but maybe, you know, creative saw something that, you know, we're not seeing. I know people like, you know, the Littmans and, you know, Numbers had said that he's not ready, and that the match he had with, you know, Ziggler at TakeOver kind of exposed him. I know there's a lot about him that he needs to work on because, again, the guy was not in the Indies. The guy, I mean, he hasn't even wrestled for a year. I mean, we're coming up on a year in like August or September, I think. So, yeah, he has a lot to work on because he'll still botch. Like, he'll still botch in a lot of matches. So maybe that's what they wanted to work on, is that, you know, you're supposed to be this big tough guy, but you're botching. So try to work on your botches. You know, because you're doing them a lot in matches. This promo works fine. So I don't know. But who the throws them as champion? I mean, they're throwing main roster people back in NXT. I mean, if we already want to jump to NXT on Tuesday, Apollo Crews is back in NXT, which I think that's good because they weren't doing anything with Apollo Crews. I mean, they were with the whole, you know, Black Panther, Prince of Nigeria gimmick. And then that fell flat, and now he's back in NXT, and he doesn't have his accent. He doesn't have his accent anymore. And then, oh yeah, Commander Aziz, they announced he's going back to NXT too, but they haven't announced if he's going to be paired with Apollo. I agree, Kyle. A lot of guys need to go back to NXT. Like, there are some talented guys on the roster that you're not doing anything with, and then there's guys that are really not that good that they could benefit going back to NXT. You know? I mean, Ricochet could definitely, you know, benefit from going to NXT, but I don't think that's what they want. Because I think the whole point of NXT is like, we're getting rid of the flippy guys, and we're getting rid of the indie guys, and you're still signing small guys. But Apollo Crews, though, without the Nigerian action, honestly going to take it. Yeah, I tried to justify it when he first started doing it, but then after a while, it's just like, okay, maybe it's time to lose the accent because now it looks kind of weird. But I mean, I'm glad Apollo's in NXT. I was happy when he came out. Like, when I heard his music, like when Braun's, you know, did the whole, you know, anyone who wants to come out and challenge me, come out and challenge me. So I was like, all right, it's either going to be someone debuting or it's going to be someone from the main roster. And it was Apollo. I'm like, okay, Apollo. I'm fine with it. Apollo's talented. So him and Braun, you know, should have a pretty good match. But yeah, I think more and more main roster guys should definitely go to NXT. I mean, I liked AJ being in NXT for that, you know, short spell. I wouldn't mind him coming down there maybe for a little longer. I mean, because he's done with his feud with Edge. Which, we'll talk about Edge in a bit. He could, but like they didn't really tease the match for a Great American Bash. He just said, you know, sometime down the line, you know, we should have a match or whatever. I don't think they're sending Moss back to NXT because they have plans for him from the way it looks. But I think they should just get rid of the name Madcap and just call him Riddick Moss. Like, Riddick is a much better name than Madcap Moss. Like, come on. Send Edge down to NXT. Doubt it. I blinked for a bit. What was I going to say? Oh, but yeah. Yeah, a lot of guys should go down to NXT. You know, some tag teams do. A lot of women on the main roster. I mean, look what it did for Mandy Rose. I mean, is she Charlotte? No, but she's gotten a lot better since being in NXT. She's a character. She knows how to talk. She knows how to command how to command, you know, screen presence. So she went down to NXT apparently because she wanted to. Like, she requested, I want to go to NXT because I actually want to learn how to get better. I'm saying she's not Charlotte, and I'm saying she got better than what she used to be before. And as far as like her character work, she's improved. You know, because before I don't know what she was doing as Mandy Rose on the main roster. Now she's gotten better as far as like her character goes. She seems a lot more comfortable on the mic. She doesn't look like she's scared. Like she's basically tapping into the stereotypical version of what people think she is, which is, oh, you're a hot girl, so that means you're a stuck-up bitch. Charles Flair. Oh, I don't feel like talking about that. I'm not going to get into that. But she's basically, like, in reality, Mandy Rose is kind of a goofball. Like, she has the personality of someone who's kind of a goof, and she doesn't really take herself that seriously. Like, you know, because she made, like, YouTube videos where, like, it's her and Sonya just goofing around, eating donuts. And she tapped into that. She's like, all right, I'm just going to be a stereotypical version of a hot girl, of what people think a hot girl is. And it works. So that was In Your House. Overall, good show. I mean, I enjoyed the matches. I mean, I didn't watch the women's title match because I don't care about Wendy Chu. Match of the night was the tag team title match. I thought that was really good. I thought the opener was real good. I don't know, dude. I love brunettes. Like, that color looks great on Mandy. Like, I don't know if you were in the chat. I was saying that she kind of looks like Carmen Electra a little bit. And Maurice, yeah, I mean, that's the way it looks. I mean, they had Roxanne Perez, you know, win that tournament against what's her name, Tiffany Stratton, who I think she's gotten a little bit better from, you know, the last time I saw her. I mean, that's what the developmental's for. Which I say that, and then I talk about how much I think Cora Jade sucks, which she does. I mean, yeah, the whole point is that it's developmental, and she clearly hasn't gotten the message. But Roxanne, I think, is so much better than Cora. And yeah, like I said, Tiffany got a little better. She's improved in the last few months that I've watched her, and it helps that she's easy on the eyes. But Roxanne won, so it looks like she's gonna be challenging for, you know, Mandy's title, and maybe she might even win. So we'll see. And the rest of NXT, I didn't really watch all that much. So let's get to Hell in a Cell, Heck in a Box. This was this past Sunday. Crap, come on. This was in Allstate Arena in Rosemount, Illinois. It was June 5th. No pre-show matches. There were 7 matches, which is the way it should be. The first match of the night was Bianca Belair versus Asuka and Becky Lynch for the Women's Championship. The Raw Women's Championship, I'm sorry. I'm just seeing what everyone's saying. But trying to get into arguments in the chat room, guys. Come on. Yeah, I'm just clearing my throat. I get allergies around this time of the year, so sorry about that, guys. You're gonna be hearing a lot of that. I try to when I do that, I'll try to, like, you know, move the microphone away from me just to do it, but it'll still pick it up. So, you know, whatever. I try to do it as little as I can. I'm on the booger sugar. Oh yeah, plenty of cocaine, because I can afford cocaine money. But Hell in a Cell, let's get started. First match, Triple Threat Women's Raw Championship. Bianca, Asuka, and Becky. I enjoyed the match until the end. I thought the ending I thought it got really sloppy at the end. I don't know if that was on the fact that Asuka hasn't wrestled a match well, she had a few matches lately, but, like, this is a big match. So I don't know if that was on, you know, sloppiness of Asuka or ring rust, but I liked the match. I thought it was really good up until the ending. Like, I get what Bianca was trying to do, where, you know, Becky's trying to go for the heel, you know, schoolboy pin, which there was a lot of that. And there was a lot of that shit. Like, it was a lot of just Becky throwing Bianca out of the ring and going for the pin, and it became comical at the moment. But I enjoyed the match up until the ending. And yeah, I got it. Bianca was giving Becky a taste of her own medicine. So I was fine with it up until the ending. But good match between all three. I mean, you knew Bianca wasn't going to lose that title. I don't know how long she's going to keep it. I don't know if she's going to keep it till SummerSlam, or maybe they'll give her a long title reign. But, I mean, so far this title reign is a lot better than the previous title reign from last year. That's just how I view it. But, Becky, it looks like they're going to have a feud with her and Asuka, based on what happened on Raw, which we'll get into. Next match is Bobby Lashley versus Omos and MVP in a 2-on-1 handicap match. 8 minutes and 25 seconds. I mean, this is all right. I mean, it went the way it was supposed to. Bobby Lashley getting the submission on MVP, the Hurt Lock, while Omos was taken out. Cedric Alexander came out and, keyword is tried. He jumped on Omos's back to, cause a distraction. It's 2-on-1, so it's no holds barred. Because Cedric Alexander has been trying to get back into the good graces and, reform the Hurt business, which they shouldn't have even broken up in the first place. And so MVP turned him down, and then he came out and essentially helped Bobby Lashley, even though that wasn't really his intention. So Lashley won, and after the match, Lashley confronted Cedric, like, what happened out there, and he's like, that wasn't for you, I was just trying to get back at them, because I missed the Hurt business, and, we're still friends, blah, blah, blah. And Lashley was like, alright, I respect you, but don't ever get involved in my matches again. So, there's the possibility of a Hurt business reunion down the road, which I'd be all for. I'd be fine with that. Like, the Hurt business was fine. And then as soon as Bobby got that title, they broke him up, that pissed me off. That really pissed me off. That was one of the best things about even watching Raw, and then they break it up. It's like, come on, dude. And now we got Lashley cutting promos. Just have MVP come on and be like, I was wrong, let's be friends again, let's reform the Hurt business, and just have MVP cut promos. We don't need Bobby Lashley cutting promos. Next match, Kevin Owens versus Ezekiel, singles match. Kevin Owens won. I was kind of scared in the beginning because Ezekiel went for his finish. I'm like, are they just gonna have this be a quick squash just so Ezekiel can continue to fuck with Owens? Which it wasn't. And Owens won the match. I thought it was good. I actually thought the match was pretty good. Elias as Ezekiel, he's a lot better in the ring. He's a lot more. He can do a lot more than what he was, doing before. And he actually works. He works like a wrestler. He looks like a wrestler. And this match was surprisingly good, like Lightning said. Owens won, which that's the way it should be. And apparently they're gonna have a rematch. So, I mean, I'm liking Ezekiel. I'm liking this, but it becomes that thing of, what's the end game here? Whenever this feud with Owens and Ezekiel is over, what do you do with Ezekiel after this? Who do you have him feud with? Do you just say, oh, well, we're going to go back to him being Elias? So, I don't know. That's just me. Next match. 6-man tag match. The Judgment Day versus AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan. The Judgment Day won. Another good match. Really fast-paced. Edge didn't really do a whole lot in the match. I don't know if that was just me that noticed, but that might explain what happens the very next night, which we'll talk about that. Damian Priest getting a lot of offense in. Rhea Ripley wearing shorts. Jesus Christ. Oof. A lot of cake this whole weekend. Didn't even know she had a leg tattoo, which that gave everyone an excuse to look at her ass. Which was funny because someone on Twitter had posted a picture of the match, and they showed Liv Morgan on the top rope and she was behind Rhea. And Rhea had her back turned. And someone said it looks like Liv is looking at Rhea's ass. And then Rhea actually responded to the photo and said, just like the entire WWE universe. So, I like when people can be self-aware. Like they're not trying to hide behind it. It's like, do not look at my ass. Look at my in-ring work. Like, look at my art. She's like, yeah, I got a fat ass. I got a nice ass, and you're all looking at it. So, that's exactly what I think about that. So, Rhea looked good. This match was fine. I liked it. It was what it was. It was a fun match with good competitors in the match. Like I mentioned, Edge looked a little... He looked like... I'm not going to say gassed, but it's like he looked tired in this match. Which, again, might explain what happened the very next night, which we'll get to. Next, you have Madcap Moss versus Baron Corbin in a no-holds-barred match. 12 minutes and 5 seconds. Surprisingly, I like this match. A match that had Baron Corbin in it was actually very good. And they gave it a gimmick, which, I mean, these two are in a feud, so the next match needs to be a gimmick. I like Moss. I mean, just stop calling him Madcap. Call him Riddick. Or just call him Moss. Whatever you want to call him. But, I mean, I like that he ditched the suspenders, and he actually looks like a wrestler. It's funny. My girl came in when this match was happening. She saw Moss. She goes, why does he look like he does porn? And I just couldn't unsee that. I'm like, he does look like he does porn. He does. For a second, he looks like you would see him on Brazzers. Or Bang Bros, or like Reality Kings. God damn it, why does it always come back to porn on the show? Last week it was very porn heavy. Now we somehow come back to porn. But his match was fine. He played college football for the Minnesota Gophers. Yeah, I heard he was a football player. The match was fine. I mean, the ending was it came back around to Corbin and like, haha, payback, bitch. To where he, quote unquote, broke his neck. And the crowd seems to be into Moss. So, Moss I'm fine with. Corbin, everybody knows how I feel about Corbin, but he did a good job in this match. So, the fact that I'm saying I enjoyed a Baron Corbin match is like, what the hell is wrong with me? Next is CM Goof. I like that. It's like who would hurt worse, Gunther's hand or Rhea's ass? Like, who would be in pain more? That's what I want to know. The next match is Theory versus Mustafa Ali for the United States Championship. They gave Ali the big, hometown boy welcome. He's a Chicago boy. But I don't know if it's just me that noticed this. So he had a big welcome. And of course, he had people cheering him. Saying, Ali, Ali, let's go, Ali. Was it me, guys, or was the response kind of tepid? Or partial? Like, I don't know if that was just me. Because I don't want to compare apples to oranges, but it wasn't like, a Punk entrance where, he's God in Chicago, quote unquote. So I don't know, that's just me. But a good match. You have two really good guys in the ring that really went out there and had a hell of a match. I mean, you knew this match was going to be the workers match. This is going to be a match where you had two great workers, and they love the shit out of Theory up there. I just hate the fact that they dropped Austin. They're just calling him Theory. Just call him Austin Theory. Austin Theory is a good name. Like that's a name you can put on shirts. I mean, they already got rid of the A in the logo, kind of. So I don't know, but another good match. Now we get to the main event, the Hell in a Cell match, the only Hell in a Cell match, with Cody Rhodes versus Seth freaking Rollins. So before the match, they announced that Cody had gotten hurt, which I actually read on a forum on one of the Facebook pages I follow, or one of the wrestling Facebook pages I follow. that it said Cody had gotten hurt on a house show, and apparently he was going to be replaced by somebody. They said apparently Drew would replace him, which I'm just like, please not Drew. Replace him with anyone else. And then, of course, rumors running rampant that, maybe Bray Wyatt might come out. Maybe he'll return. And then, they stated the facts that Cody got hurt during a pull apart on Raw. The whole thing with him and Seth, where they're fighting in the stands. He apparently got hurt then, and he was doing weight training, leading up to the match, and it tore right off the bone. So, and then they said Cody was just going to wrestle the match anyway. All right. Okay. So Cody comes out, and he takes off his robe. I was eating. I had Hot Pockets. I made some Hot Pockets before the match. I was watching on the couch. I had a drink. When I saw all that fucking purple on his right shoulder, I almost spit up my drink. I'm like, God damn! Like, cause I forgot what a torn bicep looks like. I know Triple H had it, but he had like, not to say that one's worse than the other, but like his, just had a little bit of it. Cody's fucking right arm was like damn near purple. I was like, Jesus Christ, Cody. And even the fucking Allstate Arena was like, I think they were in shock. They were quiet. They're like, holy fuck. And I think maybe even the audience looked a little uncomfortable watching the match, because I was a little uncomfortable too. Like, I was like, I got the same feeling watching when Shawn Michaels came back in 2002. And, wrestling Triple H. And it's just like, this guy has a bad back. He has a bad back, and he's doing bumps, and Triple H is working on his back. Same thing with Bryan Danielson, or Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to call him. Whenever he came back, and when he had that match with Brock. You remember that match with Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series in 2018? That's the same feeling I got, where like Brock is just throwing him around, and Daniel looks like he's just dead. I'm like, Daniel has to be the best actor in wrestling, or he is dying in front of our eyes. The American dick butt. Okay. But other than that, the match was great. It was a classic. I mean, these two have really good matches. This whole feud has been very good to watch. Every match has been great. Their Mania match was great. The match they had at Backlash was not as great, but really good. This match was great. This match maybe superseded all of that. I had said on Twitter, I think this might be the best Hell in a Cell match I've seen in years. Like, it was just that good. And, a lot of the match was great storytelling. Which is, Cody has a torn bicep. He shouldn't even be in the ring. But Seth, has a shark smelling blood. He's going to go after that shit. He doesn't care. And, like, again, I was wincing. Like, anytime Cody would get hit in that area, I'm like, ugh, ugh. Like the spot where, Seth picks up the steel steps and he's going at Cody, and then Cody he literally blocks it with the shoulder that's torn. I'm like, oh my God, Cody. I mean, supposedly, because I know Kevin Castle was talking about it. Kevin said he did his research on it. He had mentioned that, basically it looks worse than it is. Like, it's not like having a torn Achilles or a broken leg or whatever. It's like, it still hurts. It's still, I imagine he's still in pain, but it's not like excruciating pain. That's the way he put it. So it was still hard to watch at moments. And yeah, Goof, you pointed it out. Yeah, Kevin Castle, Dr. Castle. He knows his shit. I trust him when he said he did his research and he actually talked to legit doctors. And there actually was a legit doctor that talked about the match, and he said it looks worse than it already is, but he's not in like fatal pain. It's not fatal. I mean, it still hurts, but anyways, it's neither here nor there. But Goof, you said I like when you turn into a bull rope match. I love that because I like that they didn't make it too shindy. Like, there were no fucking thumbtacks, which I hate thumbtacks. There was only one kendo stick, and that went away, like, immediately. I like the bull rope. I like, Seth not Seth, but Cody put on the bull rope and throwing it at Seth, come on, you son of a bitch, let's go. Like, let's go. I like that. I love that. I was getting pretty hyped. I'm like, all right, let's go. Come on, boys, let's do this. Let's do some business. I guess maybe I'm asking for too much. A little bit of blood. Could we have gotten maybe, I don't know, some blood? Which technically we did with Cody. I mean, his blood was internal. And Seth, I think, got a cut on the back of his arm. So there's your blood right there. I like that. And also, again, going back to Seth. Seth comes out wearing the polka dots, which I'm just like, oh, that's perfect. Like, Seth knows how to play mind games. Going back to, Rumble whenever he came out in the Shield entrance. I love that. I love this match. I can't really say anything bad about the match. I might even just go watch it, rewatch it in later after this, but this was such a good match. This told a good story. I was thinking in my head, you know what? Maybe give Seth this. Maybe give Seth the match, and it becomes a thing of Cody did everything he could. But he couldn't because he's not 100%. And then, the very next night could have been a thing of Seth saying the same thing, I still don't like you, but after last night you have my respect. Like, I wouldn't have been opposed to Rollins winning the match because he probably could have needed the match, but Rollins deserves a lot of credit for how he handled this feud and this match because, you could have put anybody else in the ring with Cody in that condition and it wouldn't have worked. You would have had somebody who's not a safe worker. And it's funny because the joke about Seth is that he's unsafe. He's injured people. But in this match, he took care of Cody. So, bravo to Seth. Bravo. So that was Hell in a Cell. And overall, good show. I liked it. I had no expectations for this show going in, which has kind of been the story of a lot of pay-per-views lately with WWE is that, I like Backlash. I thought Backlash was very good. I had no expectations for that. This pay-per-view, same thing. I had no expectations for it, and it was really good. Cody and Seth being the match of the night. I like Kevin Owens and Ezekiel. I thought that was a pretty good match. Moss and Corbin was fun. I can't really think of a match that I thought was bad. I would have to say my least favorite match was maybe the women's championship match because a lot of the botching in it. But other than that, I enjoyed the match. I mean, I enjoyed the pay-per-view. I thought it was really good. So let's go to Raw. We can just skim through Raw. We don't have to go through it match by match. So show begins with Cody, coming out, to a hero's welcome. Cody is the hottest babyface in wrestling right now. Not just in WWE. He is the hottest babyface in wrestling. Comes out, talks about, working last night, thanks to the fans, but then gets to the Money in the Bank match. Says, I'm going to win the Money in the Bank and blah, blah, blah. That's when Seth comes out. And then Seth, does the promo saying, I still don't like you, but after last night you deserve my respect. And, I'm gonna get a little emotional right now. He says, your dad would be proud. And, that emotion looked genuine to me. Because Cody does the whole emotional thing a lot. And this time it worked. He was getting emotional. Seth was getting emotional. I was getting emotional too. I was like, oh God. Why is wrestling making me cry? So he ends up shaking his hand and he walks away. And I'm like, okay, so is this when Seth is going to attack him? No. Cody goes up to the top and, waves to the fans, says, I'm going to get surgery. I should be back in no time. And Seth comes out. That's when Seth does it. Seth just beats just takes out Cody with a sledgehammer, goes after the hurt arm. And I'm just like, oh, what a scumbag. That was good heel heat. That was good. Like, you swerved us for a little bit because you're like, okay, is it going to happen when Cody has his back turned in the ring? Like, oh no, okay, so I guess Cody is okay? Question mark? But no, they save it to when you're least expecting it. I liked it. It was good. It was good shit. That's a way to keep Cody off TV for a bit. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so the talk originally going into it was that Cody was apparently gonna be out for 6 months. Like, that's the talk. 6 months. Perfect timing. He comes back at the Rumble, wins it. I don't know if you'll do that, or maybe he might pull a Cena and come back a lot sooner. So I don't know. I would say be out for as long as you can because we need Cody at 100%. Like, he is the guy right now. He is the hottest babyface in the company. So if you need as much time as you can to be out so you can heal up. That's what I would say. So whether he comes back in 3 months or 6 months, I would say save it for the Rumble. Like, have him come back in December and be like, I'm coming back and I declare myself for the Rumble. Like, do that. And also, if you really want to make Cody look like a fucking $1,000,000, have him go in first. Have him be the... What is it? The fucking... Have him be the fourth guy to win the Rumble by going in once. Or going in first. It's right there. It's right there. Do it. It writes itself. Pretty much. Cody Christ is the third man. Hollywood Cody Rhodes. And then Dana Brooke and Becky Lynch had a match, which turned into a match for the 24/7 championship. Asuka cost her the match, so Becky lost to Dana Brooke. Good. Miz and Riddle, this was funny. The Miz came out with Maurice, who... Oh my god. Goof. You know what to do. Post the picture. You know what to do. Maurice coming out just looking like a MILF to the highest fucking degree. Jesus Christ. Like, she knew what she was doing. It's like with Rhea Ripley. Maurice knew exactly what she was doing wearing that fucking dress. She is the ultimate MILF. Like, Maurice is just... Jesus Christ. Oof. Like, oh my goodness. I'm like with Kevin Castle on it, where he was watching Miz and Maurice only to see Maurice, go in the pool for any reason. Miz gets to go home to that. You can talk all the shit you want about the Miz. Miz gets to go home to that. Those babies will never go hungry. If there is a milk shortage in the country, just go to Maurice's house. Oh my god. Oh, there's the pic. Oof. Oof. She is so fucking hot. I swear to God. And I heard she's pretty cool in person. Like, I heard she's like very down to earth. And like insanely fucking cool. Like, there's nothing like snotty or snooty about her. So it's good that she's hot and she's also cool. The Miz wins at life. That's another reason I hate The Miz. But Riddle came out, talked a little bit of shit, and it was funny because he says, The Miz has no balls, he has small balls. And then Maurice has to like defend him and saying he has average balls. No, he has above average balls. No, he has huge balls. He has ultimate balls or whatever. and then Riddle goes, "Prove it." And then the Miz just makes that face like, "Oh, how dare you!" I thought that was funny. I laughed out loud. I thought that was funny. So he challenges him to a match, and Riddle says, Riddle challenges him to a match, and Miz says, "I'm not even ready." And then Ciampa comes out and attacks Riddle for some reason. And then Miz, goes, "You know what? I will challenge you." And then, Riddle wins. So it looks like Riddle and Ciampa are having a feud, which I'm fine with that. But I need to see more of Maurice in those. Oh, come on, Goof. You hate everything. I need to see more of Maurice in dresses like that. I need to see more of her. We must have more of Maurice's boobs on television. The Usos versus the Street Profits. He's mocking Sky. Who's Sky? I don't know who's... I'm obviously missing something because I don't know who Sky is. It's 11 in the morning. I didn't get a lot of sleep. The Usos versus the Street Profits. I thought it was a fine match. I mean, Scorpio Sky. So Scorpio Sky and Matt Riddle, did they have like a... I didn't watch Riddle's indie stuff, so if that's a reference, I don't. Then it flew right over my head. So I'm sorry if I don't get the reference, guys. Let's see. Lashley did a promo. Ugh. So now he's got a feud with Theory, which should be interesting. Dominic Mysterio gets destroyed by Veer. Good, because Dominic sucks. Alright, let's get to Judgment Day. So Judgment Day, it was announced at the beginning of the show that Judgment Day was going to announce a new member. Which we already, I guess, had our notions and idea on who it could be. It was all pointing to Finn. And it was Finn. Finn comes out. And, says, after last night, I got in touch with, Damien and said, "Hey, I'm interested in joining Judgment Day. Because look what they've done for, Damien. Look what they've done for Rhea." And, Edge is happy. And then Damien gets on the mic and saying, "You've all taught us how to get over and how to be strong. Now we just got one last bit of weight to cut from our lives," which I'm paraphrasing, by the way. And then he slowly looks over at Edge and goes, "And that's you." Which I didn't expect that. I honestly did not see that coming. Because Judgment Day has only been on TV since, what is it? Mania. Technically Mania. It started at Mania, so was it like 2 months? So I didn't see this coming, that they were gonna throw Edge out and replace him with Finn. Which, again, I'm not convinced that Finn is the leader. I think it's going to be Damien, because I think it should be Damien, because Damien is a much better talker. Finn is not really much of a talker. I mean, I'm glad to see Finn back as a heel, because I liked him when he was a heel in NXT. Whenever he went back to NXT and became a heel, when they put him back on the main roster, he was just Finn again. But I like this. I'm digging it. The talk about Edge, you have different people giving their own theories and opinions as to why he decided to step down, and then I pointed it out on the match that they had on Sunday, which I noticed Edge was looking really tired in this match, because this match was very fast paced, and Edge, he's been pretty good since coming back, but it's just he's almost 50. Oh, stop, Goof. I agree with you on Strong, but come on. Yeah, Edge looks tired, and he's almost like damn near 50, so he's going to want to step back. And also maybe Cody getting hurt, maybe that played a part. They're like, we need a babyface at the moment. We need a big babyface at the moment, and Cody's going to be out, so Edge is much better as a babyface. What else was I going to say? And also, the reaction for Judgment Day wasn't that great. I mean, on paper, it was a gimmick that should have gotten over, but it really wasn't that great. Like, they didn't really get much of a reaction. Also, people like Edge. People want to cheer for Edge. I mean, making Edge a heel was interesting in theory, but it fell flat. It didn't work as much as people wanted it to, because people still like Edge. And also, if you're going to be building a new faction, you need the young guns. I mean, a guy like Finn could benefit from getting this kind of rub. Damian could benefit from getting this kind of rub. Rhea, needs the rub. So taking Edge out makes sense. It makes sense. I'm fine with it. I know some people are like, how could you dissolve this faction in only 3 months? It's like, because it wasn't getting over. So, I mean, Damian needs the rub. Rhea needs the rub. Edge doesn't really need the rub. So, make him the heel. I mean, not make him the heel. Make him the babyface again and keep Damian heel. I'm fine with that. I'm honestly fine with that. I know that there's someone that tried to say Edge wasn't a fan of the group becoming too supernatural, which I'm just like, yeah, I don't buy that. Edge was in the fucking Brood. I'm pretty sure Edge doesn't have a problem with supernatural gimmicks. I think it was just a thing of the company was like, we need a strong babyface because Cody's out. So they went to Edge. And maybe Edge was like, you know what? I don't think I'm best suited for this group because these are young guys that need the rub more than me. So maybe it was an Edge thing. Maybe it was an Edge was like, you know what? I'll be the babyface you need me to be, and I'll put over these guys. Edge at the moment is the guy that's putting over the other guy. Like, that's his job at the moment. He still gets a reaction. People like Edge, and he's going to be the guy that puts over the young guys. I mean, say what you want about Edge. Edge is not Chris Jericho. Edge is not taking guys and putting them on, and then putting his thumb over them and saying, you're going to be in my group because you're getting way over. You're getting more over than me. I don't like that. So that's just my opinion. What was next? Almost versus Cedric Alexander. Didn't watch that. Ezekiel versus Otis. Thought the match was fine. Otis calls out Kevin Owens saying, I want one more match. And Kevin Owens goes, I'd be glad to wrestle you, but you gotta admit that you're Elias. So Ezekiel admits that he's Elias, and Kevin Owens goes, I knew it. I'll see you in 2 weeks. And then Ezekiel goes, you're easy. I was lying. I'm not Elias. I'm Ezekiel. Okay, then. So that's how you make another match. You make Kevin Owens look like a fucking moron. Main event time. Yeah, Fatal 4-Way, Doudrop, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley won, which she should have won. She deserves this. She's getting over. And it's just like, Liv Morgan is in the position where she's at. Alexa Bliss, I wouldn't be surprised if she'll be gone by the next bus flip, in my opinion. Doudrop, she's going to be gone because she just is not very good. Rhea versus Bianca is where the money is. Like, that's a WrestleMania match. So that was Raw. I fell asleep during some of it. So, anyways, I'm going to get to questions. So let me just pull up the questions. Sorry, I'm just scrolling up to the questions. I have quite a few. So let's get to Maurice Bear. Maurice Bear, where you at? Maurice Bear has 3. The first question is, since the prequel to The Predator is out in August, what do you think of its setting in the 1719 America, and what is your best and worst Predator movie? I like that. I saw the trailer, and I liked it. I think it's weird that I don't know if they're supposed to be natives or a tribe and they're speaking like perfect English. So I don't know if their tribe has been colonized. I just think that's weird that they speak perfect English. It would have been pretty interesting if the whole movie is just everybody speaking a language. And that's how you add to the horror of the Predator hunting people. So I don't know. That's just me. But But I like the movie. I think it's going to look interesting. It looks interesting. I think it's going to be good. It's on Hulu. It's going to be straight up brutality. Because Disney, when they bought Fox, they not only bought like the rights to like the Marvel stuff, but they bought the rights to a lot of other Fox properties. One of them being Predator, which a lot of people were worried about. But apparently, according to the director, Disney just told him straight up, "Do what you want. Be as brutal and violent as you want." Yeah, Dr. Chunkers. Xenomorph is now technically a Disney princess or an evil queen. I'm fine with that. I want to watch it. I can't wait for it to come out. It's going to come out in August on Hulu. So if you have Hulu, I would suggest signing up for it right now. Or if you have like TTV or the streaming shit, look that up. Best and worst Predator movie? I mean, the best being the original. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. The original, I was going to say Transformers. Predator, the original Predator, the first Predator was a classic. That was really good. I like Predators. I like the one that had Adrian Brody. I thought that was actually pretty good. The worst Predator movie was the most recent one that came out that had Sterling K. Brown and the bad guy from Logan. That sucked. I mean, that was the victim of a lot of like rewrites because the story behind it was that there was the Predator. There was an actor in it that was a sex offender. He was a director's friend, go figure. And Olivia Munn complained about it to the higher ups, and so they ordered the director to take out that scene. Haven't seen. Actually, did I see Requiem? I did see Requiem, but it was at a party, so I was like watching half of it. I'm like, this looks like shit. But yeah, the recent one that came out a few years ago, that was bad. That was just pretty bad. Alien vs. Predator. I didn't see the first one. Didn't see it. But looking forward to the new one. Second question from Maurice. Have you ever encountered anyone famous like out of the blue in a bus stop, restaurant, the store, or whatever, and had a conversation? Yes and no. Like, I live in San Antonio, so I mean the most famous people you encounter are like Shawn Michaels or Tim Duncan or something, or David Robinson. But where I used to work at a grocery store, so we would have, Spurs players come in and, buy groceries. And there was a player that used to play for the Spurs, his name was Davis Bertans. And I just, he was like in my area. And I just shouted, "Nice game last night." And he goes, "Thank you." And he just walked away. Other than that, I haven't really run into anyone famous, unfortunately. I don't get out a lot, guys. I live a very modest life. I guess if you count Comic-Con as meeting famous people, which it is. I mean, I met Ryan Hurst from Sons of Anarchy, and I completely just like, my balls were in my throat. Like, that's how nervous I was. And he's a really tall dude. He's really nice. He's really sweet, and I choked up. Like, when I met him, I'm like, "Hi, Mr. Hurst." But he was real sweet. Met Rey Mysterio at Comic-Con. I met Rey Mysterio at Comic-Con. We talked for a bit, and I just asked him about his mask, which was an interesting conversation. Last year I met the guy from Anchorman. The guy who was saying, "I'm Mr. Musk." That guy. He was pretty cool. Last question. Which King of the Ring was the best and which King of the Ring was the worst? Oh, pay-per-view, I'm sorry. King of the Ring pay-per-view was the best and the worst. No, Goof, he was wearing his mask. Let's see. Which was the best and which was the worst? Can't really think of a King of the Ring pay-per-view that was good. I mean, Lightning, is it, or not Lightning, but Maurice, is it okay if I can just answer like who I think was the best King of the Ring or the worst King of the Ring? Because I can't really think of a pay-per-view, a King of the Ring pay-per-view that I liked. Okay, so as far as like King of the Rings, I mean, Brock Lesnar winning in 2002, that was like a surefire thing. Steve Austin which almost didn't happen, but Triple H got in trouble, so they had to give it to Austin. Worst King of the Ring, I would say Billy Gunn, which it's weird because the whole point of King of the Ring is give it to someone that is going to get over, and they gave it to Billy Gunn. They did nothing with it. I was going to say not Maurice Bear. Maurice Bear wasn't King of the Ring as far as I know. Wade Barrett winning King of the Ring was bad because, why? The most recent one, Zelina Vega winning Queen of the Ring or the Queen's Crown. That was bad because it's just the whole point of it is to get someone over, the whole point of it is to give it to someone who's over or getting over, not to get someone over. And that just fell flat. William Regal, when he randomly won it in 2008, I actually like that because I like William Regal, so I'll give him a pass. Sheamus winning it, I didn't care for. Let's see, who else? I mean, I'm surprised that they're not even thinking about bringing King of the Ring back as like a regular thing. Like, have the King of the Ring tournament, and then make that into like a pay-per-view on Saturday. Do that for NXT. Do that for the main roster. I don't know. Or why don't you have a King of the Ring tournament with everybody? With main roster guys and also NXT guys. There you go. So, hopefully they do it next year. And then Xavier winning it, which, again, I like Xavier. I do. But they gave it to him solely for the fact that it was a internet thing. And not because he was over. Or getting over. It's just like, I want to be King of the Ring because reasons. Okay, we'll give it to you. So I don't know. King Corbin was bad. I'm glad he's not King Corbin anymore, but whatever. Thank you, Maurice. Kyle, we're getting to Kyle's questions. Where you at, Kyle? I know you're there. He has quite a few questions, which I like Kyle's questions. If you were a pro wrestler, what would you want to have for gear? Would you wear trunks, long tights, or a singlet? I definitely wouldn't want to wear trunks because I have hairy legs and nobody wants to see that. So maybe long tights. Maybe I'll be like Jeff Hardy and just wear straight up pants. Anything to cover up my legs. I don't need anyone seeing my legs. Like that would be my gear. So, what were your memories from back in the day, renting movies from Blockbuster and other rental stores? Goof said he added a couple questions. Okay. Blockbuster. I miss Blockbuster. Like everybody. Like Blockbuster was a part of American culture. That was Americana. I'd usually go there like my mom would usually take me there like every other Friday night, and we rent a video game or rent a movie. And then over time, as I got older, I ended up getting my own Blockbuster card, which I still have my card, by the way. And I would just go there like at the most random times and go, but I want to rent a movie. And I would rent a movie and I would talk to the person at the front. Like, I remember, this is when I was single. Single and still living at my parents' house. I remember I rented some movies and there was a cute girl at the front. And we were just talking about movies. And I just thought, I'm going to impress her with my knowledge of movies. So, we just talked about movies, and I thought something was working, and it didn't. And actually, I had an interview at Blockbuster once, and they never called me back. It still hurts. We had another place in San Antonio. I don't know if this was a Texas place or maybe if it was like all over, but we had Hollywood Video. Did you guys ever have Hollywood Video, like wherever you're from, or was that just, I don't know if that was just a Texas thing. Oh, so Kyle says he had a Hollywood Video. Okay. Dr. Chunkers saying that he had one in California. There was another place, for the life of me, I can't remember the fucking exact name. It was by, and then Goof saying he had a Hollywood Video too, and Vegas. It was by my old house. I think it was called Latest and Greatest Video. And because there was a handy Andy, and next to it was a whatchamacallit, like a daycare, and then a couple stores down from it was a place where you rented, games and movies. And like, for the life of me, I can't remember the name of the place. I like to think it's called Latest and Greatest Video. I even asked my mom, like, what was the name of that place? And she couldn't remember. So I'm like, fuck. But that we went there too. Did you guys ever watch that Blockbuster documentary on Netflix? That was really good. Like, that definitely brought back some nostalgia. Like, the only Blockbuster left in the entire world is in Oregon. And the woman running it is literally running it, like, out of her own pocket. She has to buy the movies, she has to buy the snacks, the popcorn, the soda, the games, everything. That is the literal only Blockbuster left in the entire world. And like, she'll sign like a year extension, well, not an extension, like a contract with Dish Network, because Dish Network bought Blockbuster. And every year she's always ready, for that call of like, we're not going to pick up your contract. Like, whatchamacallit, like she says straight up, like, I'm not going to quit, I'm going to go down with the ship. So if they cancel us, then we're canceled. Like her family works there. Like, she's had her kids, her nieces, nephews, friends of her kids, her husband, work at the store. But yeah, the Blockbuster documentary was really good. Things I learned about it was like, there was a multitude of reasons why Blockbuster went under. One of the big reasons was someone who worked at Netflix came by to Blockbuster, and they wanted, I guess, they wanted to do business with Blockbuster, and Blockbuster laughed them out of the building. So look how that turned out. Another big reason was when they did the whole no late fees thing. That was a financial fucking disaster. And the dude who was in charge of that decision, he got fired immediately. So that didn't help. Also, they tried to get into the streaming game, but that didn't work. Actually, you know what? Scratch. Let me retract that. So when they tried to do streaming, it was working, but then that's when the stock market crash in 2008 happened. So that didn't help. So Blockbusters around the world were closing, and there were like 2 in Alaska, and then there's the one in Oregon. The other 2 in Alaska closed, so there's literally just one left in Oregon. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind making a trip up there just to check it out. Netflix wanted to do business with Blockbuster, and Blockbuster laughed them out of the building. So they're really, all in all, I think it was just a multitude of bad decisions, bad management that cost Blockbuster. I mean, they appeared in Captain Marvel, so that gave them some good notoriety. I like to think that the Netflix special got them some notoriety, but I don't think it did. I mean, in the era we live in where nostalgia is always brought back. I mean, you're bringing back like old logos for like sodas. You're bringing back old candy, old movies. You're doing sequels and prequels to old movies. I mean, you brought back Cobra Kai. So it would be cool if you brought back Blockbuster. That would be pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Kyle had another question. What do you use streaming on your TV? I use a Roku. I have a Roku TV. It's literally on as we're speaking. We also have a Fire Stick. My dad... you guys are going to laugh at me. Okay, so my dad actually gave me his Fire Stick. And it's a Fire Stick that has this app that has every single channel in the entire world. Not even joking. He's paying $40 a month for it. And he just asked me, just pay me $50 up front and it's yours. And he gave me the Fire Stick because I already have one. I have one in our room and it has like TTV in it. But the one he gave me already has his Netflix account. and it has this app where it literally has every single channel in the entire world. Like, if you want to watch ABC News in Boston, or if you want to watch ESPN, or if you want to watch the news in Italy, you can. It has all the movie channels. It has all the pay-per-views, too. Every single pay-per-view. Live for free. You know, you have MMA pay-per-views. You have UFC. You have wrestling. Oh, yeah, I remember the Black Box. We had those chunkers. We fucked with those. So... It was like on Saturday or Sunday. So I was testing it out. Actually, it was after the pay-per-view. So I was testing it out. The new app, because we didn't really get a chance to look at it too much. So I was testing out the channels. Like I said, it has everything. It even has local channels. And like in San Antonio, it has all the movie channels. It has like USA Network. Has all the sports channels. It has all the pay-per-views. It has channels from like France and Italy and Spain. Get all the way to the bottom. It says... adults only. In my head, I'm thinking, no. There's no way. So I check it out, and we literally have a section where we have an entire collection of porn channels. I'm not lying. I haven't even told my dad this. I assume I would like to think he knows, but I told my girl this. I'm like, we have porn on here, and she's like, ugh. So naturally, I had to check it out just to see if it works, and it works. So, not dollar bin porno, chunkers. This is the good stuff. Like this has every channel. Every channel you can think of. It has the good stuff. That's all I'm going to say. Spice. Anything you can think of. Let's see. What do we have next for Kyle? What was the craziest thing that happened to your high school as a student? For me, my senior year at Madison La Follette High School, we had President Barack Obama make a surprise after-school visit in 2010. Craziest thing that happened in our high school. The only thing that comes to mind is when someone, I guess, threatened to bomb the school on MySpace. This was in 2005, so this is when MySpace was like starting to like really like get notoriety. And someone went on MySpace said, "I'm gonna bomb the school," and so I got to school, and everybody was already just like. The hell was that? I just heard some weird noise outside. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, somebody threatened to bomb school. So when I got to school, everybody was walking out. Like they just left. They're like, we don't feel safe here, quote unquote. So we're gonna leave. So I just went, I'm just gonna go home. And I got home, and my dad's like, "Why are you home?" I went, "Someone called in a bomb threat at the school, so they just said we can stay or we can go home." I'm like, he's like, "Ugh. Your house must be dripping with white paint." No comment. Let's see. What was your favorite book that you read in school? The Outsiders. We read The Outsiders in 7th grade. I like the book and I like the movie. What the fuck was that? Sorry guys, I keep hearing some weird noise outside. I don't know if that's the ice cream man or what the fuck. I mean, I have the TV on mute. I don't know what the fuck. It's more police coming after you for watching the pornography. Yeah, that's probably it. Where was I at? Oh yeah, Outsiders. I like the book. I like the movie. There's another thing I liked. Yeah, I think it was just The Outsiders. That was, I guess, the only thing that I liked as far as like the one book I liked reading in school and also movie. So there you go. Do you ever reminisce about the days of TNA Impact on Spike TV? Also, I'll miss Mike Tenay on commentary. I liked TNA. Like in its heyday, I was actually singing its praises to the point where I thought TNA wrestling was better than what was going on in WWE. But then it became a thing of like, oh well, that didn't last long. You know, I haven't watched a full episode of TNA since like 2010. I mean, I've seen clips, but I've never actually watched the show. But yeah, TNA back in the day was fun. I mean, you had AJ Styles, you had Samoa Joe. Later on, you brought in Christian Cage, which I like Christian Cage in TNA. I like Kurt Angle's TNA run a lot. You know, Kurt Angle's wrestling in TNA was, I thought he had better matches there than in WWE, most of which. But yeah, I liked TNA back in the day. I enjoyed it. Why has AEW not held an episode of Impact or pay-per-view outside the United States yet? I think they're going to. I think there's been talk. That just takes money, more money than Daddy Tony has. So, and that's a long process. I also think it's a thing of like people aren't really aware of TNA. I'm not TNA. Yeah, same thing by the way. There's maybe people outside of the United States that they only know how to do business with Vince, and maybe Vince has all that shit tied up. You know, he has the Saudi Arabian market tied up. He has, you know, London tied up. So, you know, Tony needs to work his way up. The only Marvel movie I've seen in theaters is Ant-Man and the Wasp in 2018. Drew, what Marvel movies do you recommend me to watch? Okay. Well, I mean, I would say, I'm assuming you have Disney Plus, right? If you have Disney Plus, I mean, you can just binge the movies. I mean, I'm just going to give my personal choices. Winter Soldier, that's my favorite. Civil War. Ragnarok. Let's see. The first Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Iron Man. Spider-Man No Way Home. Black Panther's another good one. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I missed anyone. I mean, the back-to-back Infinity War movies, Infinity War and Endgame, the first Avengers movie. Trying to think if there's anything else I missed. And the Ant-Man movies are fun. The first Ant-Man movie I thought was really fun. The second one was not as good, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, those are my choices. But I would say, you know, if you're in a binging mood, just binge all the Marvel movies on Disney Plus. So, your last question: what DC movie series do you recommend me to watch? I mean, the only like DC character that they've actually given multiple movies to is Batman. So, I mean, the first Batman movie with Michael Keaton 1 and 2. Stay away from the George Clooney one. Stay away from the Val Kilmer one, even though it wasn't that bad. Let's see. The Dark Knight trilogy. Watch it. The Batman. Watch it. Man of Steel was okay. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, the first Superman movie is a classic. You know, 2 is Justice for Peace. Just stay away from that. You know, Snyder Cut, watch that. I mean, I would say if you can, watch it in like small doses. They treat it like a comic book movie. They treat Snyder Cut like a comic book movie because like they'll say Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. So you know when to stop. So whenever it goes to a chapter, you can just pause it and like get up and take a piss, get something to eat, do laundry. I don't know. But yeah, like it's a shame. Like, I like Henry Cavill as Superman. I thought he did a good job. And people seem to like Henry Cavill as Superman. And he, like, so desperately wants to be Superman. So it's just like, you have a perfectly fine Superman right here. Let him be Superman. But DC's like, no, fuck you. We're gonna make 2 other Superman movies. We're going to make one on HBO Max, and we're going to make one on the movie that no one's probably going to watch. And they also make pretty good animated movies. I liked Flashpoint Paradox, the comic and the animated movie. I thought that was pretty good. I just watched the Injustice movie, and it wasn't really that good. Yeah, the Injustice movie was not that good. I liked the game. You know what, Maurice? You're gonna hate me for this. I did not like Mask of the Phantasm. If we're talking about like animated Batman movies, Red Hood to me is the best one in my opinion. Under the Red Hood. I was not a fan of Mask of the Phantasm. In my opinion. I just thought it was too dialogue-y, if that makes sense. Like, I don't have a problem with dialogue, but when it becomes like the whole movie is dialogue, I'm like, okay, let's do something. Yeah, the Killing Joke animated movie was okay, but listen, I don't have a problem with them taking liberties and maybe adding a few things, but when they decide to just blatantly change the whole storyline, and it's like Bruce and Barbara have a random storyline and then just fuck on the rooftop, which I didn't get my panties in a bunch when they fucked on the rooftop, but it's like a thing of like, why are they in a romance? It doesn't make any sense. It's forced. The Hush one I was not a fan of because I like the comic. The movie I didn't care for because, again, they changed the entire storyline. Didn't like it. But yeah, Under the Red Hood is one I can go back and watch every now and again. I can still enjoy it. Long Halloween I was a little disappointed by because, again, like the comic, love the comic. It's one of my favorites. It's probably the number one favorite. I didn't like that they split into two. It's like, you can't just make a 2-hour Long Halloween movie? Why does it need to be in two parts? But part one I liked. Part two I was falling asleep during. I'm like, I think they added shit in this because I'm falling asleep. It's 3 hours. It's like, you could have easily made it maybe 2.5, maybe 2:15 in one story. But I like the Dark Knight Returns animated movies. I thought those were pretty good. Batman Year One, good one. You had Bryan Cranston as Gordon. Another good one that was actually pretty underrated was Assault on Arkham. That was another good one. But I never watched no one Batman movies. You need to watch those, Lightning. I know I just sounded like Batman. That wasn't on purpose. I don't know why I sound like Batman. But yeah, if you have HBO Max, they're going to be on there, I believe. Or you can just buy them. Go to Target and get the entire Nolan trilogy for $40. Best heist movie since Ant-Man. I'm going to be one of the biggest Batman fanatics you can think of. Then why have you not watched any of these movies? God damn it. Okay. So, thank you, Kyle, for the questions. Now we're on to CM Goof, who he did add a few questions. All right. His first question. It's not really a question, it's more of a statement. Hey diddle diddle, time for some riddles. Ooh, okay. Riddle 1. 2 in a corner, 1 in a room, 0 in a house, but 1 in a shelter. What am I? All right, nobody give me the answer. I want to figure this out on my own. All right, let me figure this out on my own. 2 in a corner, 1 in a room, 0 in a house, but 1 in a shelter. What am I? What am I? 2 in a corner. Is it a cobweb? Are they webs? Goof? Is it a shadow? This is interesting. Okay, 2 in a corner. Alright, so what's in a corner? 1 in a room. Is it light? Fuck. Alright, so there's 2 in a corner. Fuck, I give up. What is it? I suck at this. What is it? The letter R. Oh, okay, I get it. Now I get it. That's why I would suck as Batman, because I want to get the... Yeah, 2 in a corner. Okay, there's 2 R's in corner. There's 1 R in room, and there's 0 in a house. Okay, but 1 in shelter. Okay. Alright. That was good, Goof. Here's another riddle. Okay. Oof. Remember, guys, no suggestions. Let me figure this out on my own. I have no hands, but can knock on your door, and you must open if I do. What am I? I have no hands, but can knock on your door, and you must open it if I do. What am I? I have no hands, but can knock on your door, and you must open if I do. What am I? Okay, so... Man, I'm bad. I'm bad with these shit. Fuck. Is it a doorbell? Oh, that's a stupid fucking answer. Is it... Is it a gust of wind? Like, what is it? What the fuck? This is killing me. Alright, fuck it. Goof, tell me what is it? Who do I have to open the door for? Opportunity. Oh, that's fucking lame. Come on. Fuck you, Goof. You motherfucker. Oh, man. Irony. Ironic riddles. Boo. But that was good. You stumped me. We should do more of those. Let's see. His second question. The great philosophers, only known as the Beastie Boys, once stated, "You got to fight for your right to party." That said, can you recall a time in your life where you had to do just that and how it worked out for you? Another interesting question by Goof. I like to think Goof is really asking me, did I really have to work my ass off for what I wanted? I mean, yeah. When I was in college, going after my bachelor's, I had to fight hard to get my bachelor's, and it worked. I studied, worked my ass off. Did I get perfect grades? No, but I still fought for my right. The job I'm working at now, it's technically a government job. I fought for that. I went in there and gave the best interview I could, and now I have it, and I still have it to this day. I got a raise, and we might be getting even a raise next month. The question wasn't that deep, I know, but I made it deep, so that's how I looked at it. And getting the girl I wanted. I fought for my right to party with the girl I wanted, and I got it. So, and in a couple weeks, it's going to be 10 years. So, I know it wasn't supposed to go that deep, Goof, but that's just how I looked at it. Let's see. what if we're fake and wrestling's real? That would be an interesting turn of events. I mean, that certainly would be interesting if... What if we're just characters? What if I'm not really Drew Yari? What if I'm Steven? Which Steven is actually my middle name. But what if I'm really Steven in real life? What if this is all a dream? I mean, what if CM Goof isn't really CM Goof? What if Kyle isn't really Kyle? We're all just characters on a TV show that everyone's watching. So, that'd be interesting. What kind of bear do you think Maurice is? Teddy, grizzly, or polar? That's a good question. I'm going to go with polar. I don't know, Maurice strikes me as a polar bear, if anything. Like, he's beautiful to look at, but he is vicious. He will rip your fucking heart out if you even let him. What if you used to read Word Up magazine with Heavy D and Salt and Pepper and Limousine? Next question. Favorite snack food? Let's see. I mean, chips. Can't go wrong with chips. I mean, I prefer sour cream or barbecue. If it's Doritos, I would say Cool Ranch or Spicy Nacho. Cheetos, hot Cheetos with lemon. That's a favorite of mine. And every now and then I'll get like the regular cheese. Let's see. And if we're talking about candy, Twix, like Twix, Milky Way every now and then, but that's like thick as fuck. M&M's and beef jerky. Some favorites of mine. Last question from Goof. Should you traumatize your parents back if your upbringing and current relationship was bad or fucked up? Wait a minute. I'm going to reread that. Should you traumatize your parents back if your upbringing and current relationship was bad or fucked up? I just saw what you said. I'm just going to refresh the page. Should I traumatize them if I fuck up my relationship? Okay, I'm gonna just close this out and just go back in it because, hold on. Okay. Let me just go back to the questions. Come on. Okay, I'm seeing them now. Goof. Alright. Should you traumatize your parents back if your upbringing and current relationship was bad or fucked up? Again, this is me trying to be deep. I'm sorry, Goof, but I actually did try doing that for a while. There was, I'm not gonna get too into it, but like, there was a while where I resented my parents. For my childhood. My childhood wasn't perfect. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't perfect. Then again, nobody's upbringing is perfect. And I know the point of your parents is that you're not supposed to like your parents. I told my dad that once. I'm like, for the longest time I didn't like you. And he goes, that's not my job. Like, you think I care if you like me? Kind of like that scene in, in Fences. So, but, yeah, I mean, for the longest time I tried to be the dick to my parents and it didn't work. I love my mom. I love my dad. They do a lot for me. I'm gonna get too emotional, so I'm gonna get to the next question. I'm sorry, guys. That's not like the most dad thing to say to a son. Yeah, exactly. It's like, that'd be... Shut up, Goof. If I'm having kids too, it's just like, my job isn't to be your best friend. My job is to make sure you're decent. and that you're not a complete fucking moron. Exactly. I mean, I have a niece now. My job with her is to make sure she doesn't grow up to be an asshole. So if I had a nephew, I'd do the same thing. My job is to make sure you're not an asshole. So there's your answer. Next question, because he has a few more. Why does Aquaman not get enough respect as a badass hero? He can control the ocean and could theoretically kill everyone via drowning if he ever went evil or got pissed off enough. I said the same thing. I think it's because the image they portrayed in the cartoon back in like the was it the 60s and 70s, and then over time they pretty much gave him a makeover, and they're like, wait a minute, he can communicate with fish, so that means he can technically bring a giant squid or a shark onto land and have him eat you. How is that a pussy thing to do? And like, I remember being at a comic book store, and a guy was telling me, it's like, Aquaman's a fucking badass. Like, he's as powerful as he is on land and he's on sea. He's impervious to bullets. He's as strong as Superman, essentially. Like, he beat the shit out of Green Lantern. And he almost beat the fuck out of Aquaman. Not Aquaman, Superman. Like, he's a badass. Like, I think the Injustice game helped him gain more cred as a badass. So I think lately Aquaman's gotten his cred as a badass. So I agree with you on there, Goof. And same thing with Namor. They're both badasses. Worst movie you've seen in theaters? Ooey. There's a lot. Worst movie I've seen in theaters? Wild Wild West is bad. There's a movie with Van Damme. What was a movie with Van Damme that had Dennis Rodman in it for some reason? Double Team, there you go. I saw that in theaters with my brother. That was bad. The Fantastic Four reboot in 2014 or 2015 was bad. The most recent one is... Actually, no, not even recent. I just stay away from bad movies in general. Morbius was bad. Let's see. Yeah, if I had to pick, I would say the worst one. It had... I would say Double Team. That was pretty bad. Freaking Jean-Claude was on coke through that whole freaking movie. Alright. Last question. Jesus Christ. Last question from Goof. Can I count on your support to sign a planned petition, publicly support a hashtag to get Nestle to bring back Butterfinger BBs? They're goddamn delicious and should have never been discontinued. You have my support, Goof. You have my unconditional support on this one. So, thank you, Goof, for the questions. Dale Diamond has the last question of the night, or questions. I don't know if Dale's still here. His first question is, if you had the Men in Black eraser pen, what memory would you erase? Oh boy, there's a lot. There's a lot. I guess, like, I don't want to be too deep about this because I've been kind of deep with other questions. I guess, like, maybe just, like, certain bad memories from childhood, I would get rid of those because I don't know. Like, do you guys ever have one of those days where you just, like, everything's all right and then all of a sudden you just remember a bad memory? Like, something triggers a bad memory? Yeah, that'd be me. I'd want to just erase a lot of bad memories from my childhood. You know, just those, and mainly those. Maybe like bad memories of like just I don't know, I guess things that were said to me as a kid. By doing so, Drew, you don't mature as a person, which is a setback. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Lightning. I mean, when I look back on it, this is what the missus tells me is that, if I, because I always make like the joke, to my parents of like, all you had to do was have me. Like, all you had to do was have me, and your lives would have been easier. And she tells me, if you were just a not a single child, but an only child, you probably would have been different, and it probably would have been bad. You would have ended up getting spoiled, and you probably would have ended up being an asshole. Well, she's probably right. And growing up and having a lot of that quote unquote tough love, and having tough love for my dad, and the relationship that I had with my brother, which is a lot better now, and the relationship I had with my sisters, which is getting there. It made me into someone that just, I realized that at one point I wasn't getting what I needed out of people. I wasn't getting what I needed out of my family. I don't want to turn this into a sob story, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get to my point. But like, there was a point where I had to beg for like $5 from my mom, and she would act like I'm trying to take all her money away from her. And it's like, I look at my brother and she like willy-nilly gives him her money. And it's like, he begs for, like, he cries for $100 and you're giving me shit over $5. Like, I realized at a young age I had to be independent to get what I wanted, and it worked out. I wrote my own path. I got my 2 college degrees. I had an associate's and a bachelor's. I got my own job. I mean, not my own job, but like I got a job with government, and I'm with a pretty fucking awesome girl, if I do say so myself. I wrote my own path. So you're right. It's just, you can't keep. In theory, it sounds good to get rid of bad memories. But you don't grow as a person if you don't take those bad memories and make something out of it. Like with people telling you, you're nothing, you're going to end up being nothing. You're going to end up being a loser and living at home with your parents by the time you're 40. And this is by family telling me this, mind you. So I took all of that negative energy and just said, you know what? For the next 10 years, for the next like 10, 15 years, my mission is just to flick people off and sell them to go fuck themselves while I'm proving them wrong. And I've proved everybody wrong, so that's my answer. Dale, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be too deep about it, but that's my answer. Who is, in your opinion, one wrestler who is overrated? I mean, I think I've said it before, Kenny Omega. I mean, I've always said, what does he do that's not different from AJ or, I'll even say Paul London. Like, what does he do that's so different from them? He's really not that interesting, personally. If you could live in another time period other than your own, which time period would it be? That's an interesting question. I would have liked to live through the 80s. Like, because I was born in 89, I didn't get to actually see the 80s, so it would have been nice to experience, like, 80s nostalgia, 80s music, 80s movies. It would have been nice. Maybe the 70s, too. I'm going to say the 70s. Maybe to experience movies for the first time. Maybe to see the first Superman movie in theaters for the first time. I would have liked to experience the 70s so I can see certain movies in theaters, or I can enjoy, that wrestling boom period, the actual wrestling boom in the 80s, just to enjoy it. I would say 70s and 80s, between that. Let's see, why do you have to pay taxes but you can't dictate how it's spent? Not sure if I'm the right person to answer that, Dale. I mean, I guess taxes make sense. Because if you're not paying taxes, how is all that money going to people fixing our streets? or, you know, people getting paid to give us government forms that we need. So it's one of those things of just like, it sucks that we're paying so much on taxes. Yeah, exactly. Not the right person to talk about taxes, but I'm looking at this from my own point of view, and maybe not someone like a Jeff Lippman could answer this, you know, better, or a Ruben Prime. But like, you know, taxes go toward a good cause. So, Dale's asking me a TNA question. Were you a fan of TNA? If so, who's your favorite wrestler? What was your favorite storyline? I answered this earlier. I liked TNA back in the day. I love AJ Styles. I'm AJ Styles Mark. I like Joe. Favorite storyline? I mean, there was a lot of bad storylines in TNA. I can't really think of a good storyline, honestly. I mean, because a lot of the storylines in it were bad, and that was Vince Russo. Immortal versus Fortune. That was fun. That was all right. The main event, Mafia, was fun. I like the fact that Sting was the leader, but Sting was a leader of a heel group. Like, he was supposed to, like, I like that his whole thing was like, you know, I'll be the leader, but I'm not going to participate in anything you do. I'm not going to be the heel. Like, you guys do the heel shit. I'm just going to be the leader. What's another good story? I mean, I liked the story with Jeff Hardy whenever he came back after he, you know, the whole match with Sting that we all know about, where he came back and did the whole thing in wrestling where you asked the boys for forgiveness. Like, you had people like Devon, you know, forgive him, but then you had, you know, Matt Morgan be like, get the fuck out of here. Or AJ being like, you know, get the fuck out of here. He didn't say fuck, but he just said, get out of here. I like that storyline. That was good. That was really about it. What's your next question? If you had to have the power to remove one state from the USA, which one should it be? Or which one would it be? Ooh. Ohio. Damn. Kyle saying Ohio. Fuck it, I'll say Ohio. Get rid of Ohio. Get rid of Michigan. Let's see. What's another state? Utah. Get rid of Utah. Get rid of that racist piece of shit state. Maybe get rid of Indiana while you're at it. Montana. Nebraska. Why do you hate Nebraska, Chunkers? Why the animosity towards Nebraska? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know you. I don't know you, bro. You need to tell me these things. Florida is too easy. What's another one? Is the Florida of the Midwest? Okay. I'm honestly trying to think of another state while you guys are talking. Let's see. Oh, it did. Corona came from Nebraska? I didn't know that. Yeah, Wisconsin, because Kyle lives there. Especially because Kyle lives there. Get rid of Wisconsin. Get rid of those goddamn New Yorkers. They flew the patient zeros into Lincoln, and it spread from there. I honestly didn't know that until you told me, Chunkers. That's fucking nuts. That's nuts. I heard Texas was like ground zero for fucking COVID. That's what I heard. I'm just going off of what other people told me. But yeah, I didn't know that. Nebraska is where Corona came from. It's nuts. Let's see. Dale has one more question. What was your favorite snack as a kid? I think I already answered this, but he's asking me as a kid. I mean, the same snacks I liked as a kid, I like now. I mean, I'll still have candy every now and then. I try not to have too much candy. Like Twix, Milky Way. I don't really like Snickers as much as I used to. M&M's I haven't had in a while. I never have been a big fan of what the fuck is that thing called? The Taste the Rainbow? Skittles. There you go. I do like Starburst every now and then. And then chips, of course. Sour cream and onion, barbecue. Sea salt are pretty good. Sea salt chips are pretty good. But yeah, my snack habits have not changed. So as a kid, I just try not to have too many. They're fruity, delicious. Oh, they're fruity. Skittles! Are you doing the JR thing, Goof? I love that. Oh, that was funny. Are there any more questions? Maurice, did you want to ask a question? You mentioned that you wanted to ask a question. This is probably the longest show I've done as a solo. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. Jesus Christ. If you want to ask a question, Maurice, go right ahead. I'm at a softball game, too. I'm just waiting and see if Maurice is going to ask me a question. I have all day. It's my day off, so. Since you don't like the last riddle I sent, here's another one. Try to solve this. What runs but never walks? Murmurs but never talks? Has a bed but never sleeps? Has a mouth but never eats? Let's see. What runs but never walks? Murmurs but never talks. Let's see. Is it a river, Goof? Sounds like a river to me. Hell yeah. Got that one. Also, Drew Yari, go Hawkeyes. Go Hawkeyes. Yeet. Go Badgers too. I guess since we're already talking about sports, did you guys... I don't know if you guys have been watching the NBA Finals, right? So, last night, it was Game 3 with Boston and Golden State. And Draymond Green got 6 fouls and he fouled out. And the entire Boston crowd was chanting, fuck you, Draymond. The entire crowd was chanting, fuck you, Draymond. And Draymond Green's wife actually posted like a Instagram story or whatever and said, basically doing the whole crying foul. It's like, oh, the atrocities. Hold on, Maurice has a question. What was the infamous letter that causes Dusty Rhodes to back away during a feud in the NWA? I didn't know there was a letter. I don't know. NWA questions are... that's a little over my head. I have no idea how to answer that, Maurice, honestly, because that's before my time. But sorry if I couldn't answer that question for you, Maurice. Yeah, she was crying foul. Like, doing the whole, oh, how dare you obscenities at my husband in front of my children. It's like, yeah, your husband is also the same guy that starts fights on courts and cusses out referees when he doesn't get his fucking way. It's like, really? I love when they do that, when they cry foul. Like, oh, how dare you cuss at me. But, alright, that's enough show for today, guys. Thank you guys for getting up early and listening to me talk about nonsense. 2 hours and 24 minutes is the longest solo show I've done. And thank you guys for showing up. Dr. Chunkers, I don't believe you've listened to the show before, but thank you for coming. You're always welcome back. Lightning says I missed a question. What was your question, Lightning? I didn't even know you asked. I didn't know you asked an extra question, but yeah, re-answer it because I honestly didn't say it. I'm sorry. We're not ending just yet, so let me see Lightning's question. With SummerSlam around the corner, what were the 5 best and worst ones you've seen? I think Lightning, I believe you asked this like not too long ago, but I'm gonna answer it anyway. Best ones. SummerSlam 02. That was a good one. Let's see, SummerSlam... And I'm not naming these in order. So SummerSlam 02 is probably my favorite one. SummerSlam... The most recent one was actually pretty good. 01 was pretty good. '05 was pretty good. And man, this is a doozy. Yeah, 2014. I'll give 2014. Those are my 5 favorites. The worst ones. Oh boy. There's been some pretty bad ones lately, so I can't really think of like an order. I would just say ones that just weren't really that good. I don't know if they're particularly bad. There just weren't really any good matches. I mean, 2016, the only good match on the card was AJ and John, or AJ and Cena, where AJ went over clean as a sheet. Other than that, the SummerSlam was not that good. Fuck, what was the main event of... What was the one where the main event was Undertaker and Brock, and then Undertaker wins because he hit Brock in the balls? That was 2015, right? Okay, 2015, that was pretty bad. Let's see, what was another bad one? Yeah, 2010 wasn't that special. I'm trying to think of it. I think I'm trying to think of ones, guys. 98 wasn't that good. I mean, the main event was Austin and Taker, but that match wasn't all that great. I mean, was it Triple H and The Rock? They had a ladder match, but that was just okay. Yeah, well, I remember being a kid and not being that crazy about 98. I think I have that. I think I have that tape, by the way. I'm trying to think of another one. Fuck. 04 wasn't all that great. SummerSlam 04. But yeah, those are my 5. Those are my 5 least favorite and favorite. So, alright, guys. So that's the show. Everybody, thank you for questions. Thank you for waking up this early to listen to me talk about nonsense. All right, let's see who. All right, Kyle, of course, B Sharp, Lightning, Maurice, Dr. Chunkers, Goof, everyone else that listens. Thank you for the questions. Dale, of course, thank you for the questions if you're listening. You know where to find me. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Yari. I have a Patreon. It's just $5 a month. I know Anna recently signed up for it, so maybe you guys should follow Anna and sign up. $5 a month. It'll get you great content. I do shows with the likes of Jeff Littman and RJ and Ruben Prime. So you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. I guarantee it. You will not be disappointed. It's just $5 a month. And you can find the show on Spreaker. That'd be awesome if you did, Kyle. Thank you. You can find the show on Spreaker. That's the home base. You can find it anywhere that podcasts are distributed, like Google or iTunes. You're going to find me on YouTube. And what else was I going to say? Shout-outs to Wrestling Soup, Breaking the Apocalypse, Kevin Castle, and Chicky, and Shrez. And Hammerlock Hangover, Jeff Littman, Garden of Doom, RJ, Ruben Prime, the Ruben Prime podcast. Get into Corner, I can't forget about them. Wrestling Court, Texas Podcast Massacre. Let's see if I'm forgetting someone else. Andrew Carlick. And shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody that has a podcast. Shout out to everybody that supports the show. And leaves likes, comments, subscribes, retweets. I appreciate it. And I'll be back next week. Will it be the same time, same channel? More than likely so. But you guys are always the first ones to know. So, anyways, guys, take care. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. And peace.